Hello, everybody. As you come in, just let me know you're here. I'm creating a banner so people know what the topic is. Just say hello as you come in. Add banner. Okay. Comments. Where are they? Okay. Hello, everybody. We're just popping in here to start the conversations of a activism initiative. Um, and I know many people are hello, good afternoon. Amala, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Peace and blessings. Earth, wind, fire, spirit. Good to see all of you. Um, we're having the conversation, we're starting the conversation about legal activism. And many people who are young people, they don't know how to start legal activism. And I know a lot of men feel like there's something that needs to be done. And I wanted to start that conversation. I wanted to take it as far as people needed me to in respect to um, if my presence was required, or if just direction was required. And so um, I've I've deemed this 1,000 boots on ADL ground. And um, this is the unfortunate thing, is that nobody ever expects um, uh, black people, black men specifically, to stand up for anything and to do anything. They really think we're about lip service only. And very few people believe that black men will actually try to do anything to combat these type of situations that we're seeing right now. What am I talking about? We've seen Kyrie Irving's latest apology. Didn't look very good. Um, and many of us, it bothered us. Many people are very angry with the ADL, amongst other groups. But I think the ADL is a great place to start when it comes for people of color, Afro-Semitic, Afro-Hamitic people saying, where's our apology? And um, there needs to be a desire, though, a massive desire to be part of that conversation. I'm only here to facilitate that desire. I know I have it. But I do also know that me living in Canada, um, in some of your minds might affect activism conversations, legal activism. I have to say those words because a lot of people get carried away with what I could mean, and I know that this is social media. I know that I'm on a live platform, and I know people can take your words any kind of way. I want to start the conversation now. The intention for me is to move this conversation into a members only live. And I've created categories in the membership, earth, wind, fire, and spirit. And the live chat for fire, members who want to be fire members, is where I would like to have that conversation. Why do I wish to do it in that way? And why do I wish to do it within a membership context? Because it lets me know who are actually serious about following through. Because if I start the ball, I'm going to be bringing help, I'm going to be bringing some serious legal minds. I'm going to be bringing activism organizations. I'm going to be bringing community leaders in America who can help. And so Also, there are people who want to support the channel and are not interested in that level of activism. The Wind, for example, my Wind members, they're interested in shout outs, they're interested in business. I will have lives for them. So I wanted to be able to target people in their specific area of interest. And I also want to give us a voice to our advocacy. What we're going to be doing is building out potentially NGOs, a world NGO. The NGO will be registered in America. It'll be a world NGO, and it'll have people who sit on the board of trustees from various nations. You found me through Berean TV. Just finished watching your discussion with Harry Rosenberg. Thanks, Shaf. The Berean. Thank you. I commented the major difference between Shemitic and Semitic. Yes. So stay with my comments here. So when I put out a message yesterday on my community page, and I said 1,000 Hebrew Israelites should show up at the ADL and knock on the door, many people, Jewish people, began to heckle that idea. Isn't it interesting that that community, even though, you know, there's random and there's extremists and there's people on all sides of fences, I would have thought that there are certain things that certain people would just not touch. And I also do know there are people who are in the Jewish community who would very much like to dismantle the voice and the presence of the ADL. I've spoken to some, and but this doesn't begin with a collaborative effort of Blacks or Afro-Semitic and Afro-Hamitic people and European Jews. It begins with Blacks, and then you now allow people to partner with you. Nobody's going to run ahead of you for your own emancipation. And I think that is a great mistake that we have made. Peace and blessings, and thank you for your labor. Thank you. I appreciate you too. Good day, Della. I'm new and happy subscriber. Great content always. Thank you, Cheryl. So what is the first phase of legal activism? The ADL needs to apologize to the FBA community according to regarding their anti-Black racism. I have 6 things that I will disclose once we actually have a real group of individuals that the ADL needs to do. What do we need to do? This is number 1. I need men and women from various organizations, I'll call them that, hopefully Hebrew Israelite organizations to begin with, churches, and even mosques, and inclusive of fundamental Islam and nation, to come together under the auspices of anti-Black racism. Okay? Under the auspices of anti-Black racism in the mouths of the ADL. And this is my allegation. The ADL is allegedly a organization that deals with hate and attempts to stamp out hate in every community. The ADL does not embody an anti-hate group when it comes to the Black community. Did you hear what I said? The ADL does not embody a group that attempts to stamp out anti-hate when it comes to the Black community. And that is because of who runs the ADL and the mindsets behind the people who run the ADL. It is a Zionist organization that is white supremacy dressed up as Judaism. It is a Zionist organization with white supremacy dressed up as Judaism. This is not just the sentiments of one Black man. This is the sentiments of Jewish people, white Jewish people, who also believe that the ADL does not embody nor represent the voices of certain factions of the Jewish community and the Israeli community. They don't represent it. And the ADL, when you look at their track record and what they hang their hat on their accomplishments are solely from their inception to this moment, focused specifically and only for white Jewish individuals, regardless of their guilt, regardless of what they've done. The ADL painstakingly and without apology will defend any Jewish issue, regardless of whether it is right or wrong. They also have no track record of which they have bragged about or promoted on their website of being activists in any initiative that affected Black people. Third allegation, and this is the most damning, is that the ADL has attacked members of the Black community in the areas of entertainment, sports, and this is the last one, faith. The ADL refers to the Hebrew Israelite movement as a hate group, as extremists. They did say in the beginning of a very long treatise of detailed insurgency into Hebrew Israelite organizations. They said, well, they're not all extremists, but then they went to town basically outlining all of the things down to the nitty-gritty of what Hebrew Israelites believe, what Hebrew Israelites might say, down to outlining various, not one, not two, not three, not four, various organizations of Hebrew Israelites, and essentially painting the picture of a faith group, calling that faith group an anti-Semitic hate group against Jewish people. Now, this is where you must draw the line. If you said, you know what, well, you know, they are talking about entertainers who said things that were anti-Semitic. What's wrong with that? They're talking about sports athletes that said things anti-Semitic. What is wrong with that? But when you go to the point as an organization that carries itself as a Jewish organization, and Jewishness in the minds of the secularist, in the minds of the unlearned, in the minds of the ignorant, is symbiotic to being not just the people, but the faith and the tenets of the faith. And so when you have an organization that claims to be Jewish, but separates itself from the tenets of what Judaism is, separates itself from the virtues of what Judaism is, and attacks individuals who claim the same Hebrew or Israelite and Judaic foundations simply because they are Black. Now, my friends, you don't just have a bunch of people who are, you know, just pointing at things that upset them. You have a hate group. You have the definition of an anti-Black hate group run by a gentleman who has no track record other than working for Barack Obama for a period of time of doing anything positive for the Black community. He also now, by association, bears the burden of historical injustices at the hands of his community towards Black people in America. By association, he has inherited that burden, and he has inherited the responsibility, and he is carrying it proudly. And so this is why the ADL must be the first focus The first focus of the Black community in respect to activism against anti-Black racism, it should be the first focus of the Jewish community if they intend on fixing or attempt on bridging this chasm, this great divide that has been opened up in the minds of so many people all over the world who have contacted me from Ghana, from Taiwan, from America, of course, from Israel, and the list continues. If the Jewish community who does not agree with the ADL wants to bridge this gap, this is their time and this is their moment. In the grassroots formalization of the NGO that will pop up, and it might not be, I'm sure there'll be more. The conversations that need to be had, and the only thing, this is where I'm gonna put this on this platform because this is what I want to go around the world. The only thing that will pacify, and I'll say it this way, Black anger, is the conversation of reparations in respect to their apology. Meaning, an apology ain't enough. It wasn't enough for Kyrie Irving, and it will not be enough for the Black community. An apology will not be enough. A $90 million organization with contacts and the treasure chest of both the American government and Israel will be held responsible for a level of, and I'll use the word very quick, very instantaneously, because that's the only word that will cause Black people to sit back and say, oh, is the word reparations. An apology consistent with reparations, of which we'll outline later, is due. It's due. And we can itemize how those things look, but there will be money to be paid from a community that we know has it to organizations, or an organization, an NGO, that will funnel down foundationally to Black charities, that will funnel out to for-profit organizations, that will funnel into positive media and education, and that will become an umbrella organization for the furtherance of Afro-Semitic and people of color in America and around the world. Now, we require extreme organization to do that, right? The first people up to bat should be the Hebrew Israelite men, because they were the first people on site in this scenario anyway. So people have always asked me, how come you haven't interviewed Ron Dalton? I don't know Ron Dalton. I don't have access to Ron Dalton. You know, nobody has given me contact for Ron Dalton. I've tried, but the Hebrew Israelite community has reached out to me from everywhere. The Hebrew Israelite community was the first community to go to the Barclays Center and hold their own protests. And I think the Hebrew Israelite community is the first community. You are on the ADL's website. The Baptists aren't there. The Methodists aren't there. Okay, the Pentecostals aren't there. The Roman Catholics aren't there. The Protestant Reformation isn't there, and which they could be. Luther was a famous anti-Semite, but you are there. The Black man in America, in his faith group, is sitting on the ADL's website, unapologetically being characterized as a hate group. If that alone doesn't tell you the temerity of this organization, nothing else will. So this is not about Kyrie Irving anymore, and we need to get him off of our tongues in respect to utilizing him as an icon or an image, and I dare say an idol, for something that's much older than him. What he has done is he has fanned a very low flame of an issue that we always know existed. And for those coming in and saying what we have to say, listen, I want us to have the same conversation. Okay? I see many of you who, you want to start talking about all these things that we've discussed in our lives and our debates. Let's have the same conversation, please. Everybody here, everybody in the comments, right? Because I'll just start blocking folks in the comments. Let's have the same conversation. The conversation is, how are you prepared to organize yourselves? And starting with people in New York City, starting in Brooklyn, starting with the mosques, the Hebrew Israelite groups, the church groups, right? The nation groups, Nation of Islam groups, fundamental Islam, behind an anti-Black racism activism focused and targeted specifically to confront the ADL and Jonathan Greenblatt. Stay focused right there. Okay? Please stay there right now. Everybody causing all of these other things happening here, it's going to throw people off because people are going to be reading. I would like to know that I can get 1,000 individuals ready to do that. But I can only know that if I have approximately 50 groups coming from 50 different organizations, right? Just to be fair, because you can do the math. 50 times what? 50 times, we're looking for 1,000 people, right? So you got 50 times 200, right? 200 member organizations. I have 50 of them. It's 1,000. That's 1,000 boots on the ground. So also, I don't want to be having all these conversations out here on the live. I want to have them in a members conversation, in my members fire, earth, wind, fire, spirit. The fire group is the activism group. The earth group are supporters. The wind group are people that are simply going to be dealing with e-commerce and economy and business. The spirit group are those who are looking to teach ancient history, but the fire group are the activists. And this is why I separated them as such. And we have to be focused. Those who are interested in praying and fasting, please do so. But the context of the fire group are people who are actually wanting to be administrative, people who want to use their social media, people who want to be there, which we need, boots on the ground, legal. We need lawyers, right? You're going to need permits if you're going to do open demonstrations, right? You're going to need to know who to contact in the police force to let certain chiefs know if you're going into those particular areas. And you're going to have to now partner with your partner organizations so we know who's who. You understand where I'm going? So let me just go very quickly. 50 times 200, not 20. That's all right. I want 50 organizations with 200 members. That's what I'm going for. All right. That way I'll get 1,000 people. So not everybody's coming to the table. Right? If you do anything with churches, what you have to understand, you're only going to get 10%. You do anything with any religious organization, you're only going to get 10% of the people. Okay? Right? You want 1,000 people, you got to talk to 10,000. That's how it is. So you talk to 10,000, you're going to get 1,000 people. 50 times 20, that means if you got 20 people in your church or organization, I get 50 of you, you're not all showing up. Plus you got children, you got grandmothers, you got papas. If you're a 200-person organization, which is a very healthy size assembly in most places in America, you got 200 members, you are the first organizations that have the wherewithal to have legitimate demonstrations. You have a full-time, if you have 200 people, your cleric, your pastor, your rabbi is probably full-time, right? He's probably a full-time individual. He has time to commit to this. This is why I picked those numbers. You're going to get 10%, right? So I want 50 organizations that are big enough, that have about 200 members, right? That'll give us the capacity to take a tithe of those members, and you won't wear out the same people. You can have people on rotation. Okay. 1,000 is no problem. The Bantus will be ready. Okay, Timbo Slice, who are the Bantus? All right, who is that organization? And NOI got the understanding correct from the Bible. The Nation of Islam need to be at the table. They've been fighting this battle for years. Hello, Real J. So again, this is a humanitarian effort of anti-Black racism amongst people, targeted specifically at individuals identifying as Shemitic or Hebrew. But it won't stop with you, right? We know what the ADL thinks of the Nation of Islam. You don't even have to ask that question. And smart enough, the nation is not even on their website. They wouldn't dare put it there. They wouldn't. And the Hebrew Israelites, who are my #1 supporters on this channel, by the way, right? #1 supporters on this channel are Hebrew Israelites. #1. Isn't it interesting that they're tapping you on the shoulder because they know what the Nation of Islam will do if they put them on anything? They know very well they don't want that fight. It's very interesting that a very activist group of Black men who don't joke around about telling people their doctrine. There's videos of Hebrew Israelite groups all over the place, outside, you know, on their soapbox doing their thing. It's interesting that they're bold enough to put you on blast. I find it like they're testing you. And if you're in New York City and you're a Hebrew Israelite with a considerable organization, I find that to be insulting. They're checking you. They're telling you straight to your face, we're not afraid of you. We're not worried about you. We know who you are. We've sat in on your meetings. We've sent people there to listen to you. We've read your books. We've listened to your documentaries. We know who you are. Wow. Right? And so what I'd like to see in the chat right now, reparations. Yes. Our ultimate goal is reparations. An apology with reparations. I'll break down what that looks like. But what I'd like to see in the chat is, I know I got allies, Timbo. Thank you, brother. I'm reaching out right now. Right? There you go. CB, it's 10,000. A tithe of 10,000 is 1,000 boots on the ground that can keep working. Right? That's why I said a 200-person organization, 50 members. Sorry, 50 organization with 200 members. You will have 1,000 people on the ground anytime you need it. All right? You won't wear anybody out. Okay. Where do you register for your groups? Thank you for telling me that. So basically, hit the join button, hit the like button as you come in, subscribe for those who are not subscribers, but the join button is activated. Once you hit the join button, you will see the groups, you'll see the membership groups that show up. I appreciate all my new members. As soon as I created, and the back end young lady who's been creating all this, she's amazing, and she's done it all for me. Right? That's my lady, and she's done it all for me. She's put it all together. As soon as she created it, right away, everything people just started adding themselves. We already have a very healthy amount of folks in the back end, but we don't have any fire groups. So it's earth, wind, fire, and spirit, right? That's us. So the fire group is the group that I'm talking about. If you don't see it, you might need to use your computer as opposed to your phone. If you don't see it on your phone, you will see it on your computer. 100%. Okay. You might not see it on phones. Even my phone, I don't see it that well, but you'll see it on the computer. I'm glad you like what you're hearing. Now, this is what I want to see in this chat, right? This is what I'd like to see. If we have any leaders of their mosque, church, like pastors, clerics, rabbis, leaders of your Nation of your Hebrew Israelite groups, I would like you to just start saying what organization you belong to, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, you're going to message me, and I'm going to put it in here now. You're going to message me at Del K Brereton, and we'll talk directly. Post a comment. I'm going to put my email in here. I created it for this purpose, so go crazy if you want. To any haters, you can send anything you want in there. Shauna Shade, good to see you as a new member. Thank you very much for becoming a new member. We appreciate you. Shauna Shade, tell us which member you became. Now, I appreciate members of all kinds. Why I'm picking the fire members is because I can see that those are the people who are serious about keeping this thing going. If I have to show up, I will be showing up if requested anywhere in America, and I will show up. For those who don't know me, I am an ex-police officer. I'll show up with a small contingent of my own personal security because I know who I'm dealing with, and men I trust, and I will come to facilitate any type of legal activism. Homeland Security, do you hear me? Legal activism, right? Okay, algorithm, do you hear me? Legal activism, you got to say it. To facilitate any level of legal activism. Kenneth, thank you, Kenneth, for becoming a new member. I'm going to add you up here in a minute. Yeah, legal activism. I will facilitate any legal activism in the United States of America with my American partners, who I already have strong partners in America who have already reached out to me, people ready to do this, ready to put together the NGO. The board of trustees will be consistent of these leaders who come from these particular groups after we've vetted you, right? After you've been vetted, because you're going to be speaking for a lot of people. And you know what? This is the season for, I would say, both the radical and the intellect. And we want the intellects to speak. Okay. We want people who represent us well to speak. We're not throwing anybody away who will support us, but we're going to know where to put you. So we're looking for those leaders to be the first people to the forefront of this organization. I'm just going through what I want to disclose right now. I don't want to give the name of the organization now. I'll wait for that. I don't know what this means, Jessica. Please pray about this. This could turn into a Jan 6 situation. And I so appreciate what you're saying. And I don't know what Jan 6 is. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting this comment up here. Stop fanning the flames of fear. Stop fanning the flames of fear. I don't know if that situation in January 6th is a situation that you are put up there as thinking that it's fearful of something bad happening. I don't know. You've got to tell us what it is. But I'm saying it in advance. What is this thing? I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. Folks, I don't know what this is. You're going to have to tell me what it is. Okay? If it was a setup or whatever, stop fanning the flames of fear. We got to stop being afraid of, number one, having people say, these blacks are organizing to do violence. Who cares? They're going to misclassify any type of organization of black people trying to speak for themselves. When has that ever been something America hasn't done? From J. Edgar Hoover to the Ku Klux Klan, they have always tried to say, from Nate Turner, anytime black people stand up for themselves, organize for themselves, come on, you know all of the places. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You are the big brothers of all black people in the world. We look to you for support. Stop being fearful when it's time to activate. They're afraid of you. You don't need to be afraid of them. Especially in this season. They're not lynching Negroes no more. Not the way they used to, at least. Kyrie was lynched, but not the way they used to. So some of this generational fear that we have, that if we try to do anything, that we will be misclassified as radicals and all these things. Stop fanning that flame. They got to figure it out. They should be afraid of you. They should be terrified. All right? To go biblical for a moment, Jericho was waiting for 40 years for Israel to come. Rahab said, whoa, we've been seeing you guys walk around with that flame and that pillar of smoke for 40 years. We were waiting for y'all to come. America's been waiting for black people to say enough's enough. They've been waiting for you guys. And let me tell you something. You know why I am patient with black people in America? You haven't even been free for 200 years. Do you know that? You haven't even been free for 200 years. You're a new nation. 200 years into Christianity, Christianity was still the enemy of the Roman Empire. Did you know that? The Romans considered you atheists to the Christian. They hated the Jew too, but they considered you atheists. It took 325 years for the church to be accepted in Roman civilization as a legal entity. The black man in America has only been free 200 years. 200 years, that's all. Thank you very much, Tweed. Hey, good to see you again, brother. Thank you very much. It's good to see you again. We must apply pressure. We must apply pressure. Okay? You're a leader with your sector, HESPA 1130. Send me an email. Okay? Become a member with the FIRE membership. Let your organization pay for that if need be. It's not expensive. Things are not expensive. It's not, and the insurance, the issue, and what I would be using the financing for is that if you guys said I need you to come, I would now have the wherewithal to show up and to come and to stay for a period of time. And any group that wants to bring me, understand that I don't live in America. I'd have to fly there. I'd have to have accommodation for me and my small security team. I'd have to have transportation, and we would feed ourselves, right? The basics. So it is an endeavor. It's not like I just drive to Buffalo or to Brooklyn, but I would love to come. And organizations have already told me in respect to come that they would bring me. So, Boro, you said it right. Nobody's free in America, and I know Boro, you're one of the guys that would help. Right? Boro's been riding with me from the time this got going. He's an ally. We've got white people who are part of this, right? But black people, you need to stand up first. You're standing on your neck. Nation of Islam, stand up. But Hebrew Israelite, that's your neck they're standing on. This whole thing came up because they said the black man cannot be a Hebrew. That's what this is all about. They said the black man can't be a Hebrew Israelite. You should be the first person in line. You should be the Reubenites running to the front. Hello, William. Hello to all, William. Okay, let's talk about this boycott the NBA. Princess, thank you very much. Keeping me on message. That is the #1 thing that we still have to do. I came out and said, you know what, we're going to go back to watching games, and we're not going to do this, we're not going to buy league passes. But to be very honest with you, we have seen, I've seen reports, and I don't take things I see on YouTube as facts, that the NBA is losing a little bit of ground. We know they had a dip. The NBA makes about $8 billion a year, for those who don't know. The NBA is about an $8 billion organization. From about 8.8, went down to about 8.3. It's in that range. We know the Brooklyn Nets are the only team last year that didn't make any money. And the NBA is looking to change its collective bargaining agreement and have a relationship with its partners, its media partners, asking for more money. You want our stuff? You need more money. And so these media partners are figuring out, is it worth it? Is it worth it to keep paying the NBA to watch these lousy games? Let's make it not worth it. Some of you are saying, well, isn't that the NBA is mostly black players, and aren't we going to affect the black players? Listen, the NBA is an $8 billion organization. The owners, the administrators of that team can't shoot basketballs. They can't make money unless those black players are playing. However, those black players could go, all 300 or some odd, 250 of them could walk out to a local park, start playing pickup basketball, and charge money immediately, tomorrow. They are the product of the NBA. They are the ones who have the power, and they can turn that into a business anywhere they are because they're the most fantastically talented human beings on the planet. That's why they play in that league. Okay? So, attacking the NBA is not attacking black people. It's a Jewish company. Did you know that? Well, now you do. It's a private business. It is it's not publicly traded. You can't buy shares in the NBA, right? It's not publicly traded. You can't say, you know what, I'm going to invest some money, my grandmother's money in the NBA, and it's gonna make money NBA. You can't do that. It's a private company. It's private rules, right? It's private. It's very private, and it's Jewish. Belongs to Jewish people. It's theirs. There's nothing to do with us. That's why most of the owners are Jewish. And the history of it, for those who don't understand, and would love to join, go ahead. Hit the join button. Hit the join button, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the page, to the channel, and hit the join button. Fire membership for those who are looking to be part of the activism conversation. We'll be having private chats with our private lives with our fire members, right? And I'll be coming in here on publicly trying to drive people to that, getting you going. But the reason that the NBA is full of Jewish owners is because Jewish people were very bright about trying to get into sports early on in the early 20th century. And they couldn't get into Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball didn't want them there, right? And they said very quickly, you know what? We can do this basketball thing. And Jewish and black relationships have always been relationships of mutual benefit, where Jewish people have made more money and we've made money too. That's just a fact. That's not even a joke. All right. Thank you very much, G. Kennedy. I have an organization to support the movement. Need your email contact information. I'll put it again in the chat. Thank you very much, Q. Kennedy. And let me post my email again. It's delkbrereton@gmail. It's really easy. Boom. gmail.com. There it is. Did it pop up? Thank you very much for your $4.99. Thank you very, very much for those who keep supporting. The Jewish community said, there's so much talent with these black players. We can get television coverage. There's all these black players. Remember, this is a time where black people weren't even being let to play Major League Baseball. Right? The Jewish community said, you got all this black talent to white America, to non-Jewish white America, and some, but non-Jewish white America. You got all this black talent here, and you don't want to put them on television? Well, we'll take them. And they created doggone ABA and the NBA. They made collaborations with black people and made young black men rich. Right? They had rules, and they had relationships with the NCAA, we know. Here we are today, where Jewish people are saying, we're going to take back some of that power that we gave you guys. Hepzibah. Sorry about that. Hepzibah. Thank you for telling me how to pronounce it properly. French we. What does French we say that we need to do? I didn't see his comment. I'm just going to keep looking here. Scripture. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody here who can teach Bible like me. This is not a Bible conversation. This is not a scriptural conversation right now. Okay? We're not having a Bible study right now. Okay? It is part of my platform though. But please stay on point. D Rich, new member. Thank you, brother. Please, please, men, we're here to talk about activism right now. Can we not have a Bible study for a second? The Bible is in us. It's not going anywhere. Please, let's have a conversation about this activism. And then we can have a Bible study. No problem. I'm good. I'm happy to have one. But I need these gentlemen to talk to me. I need my email to start lighting up with people saying they're part of it. I've posted it multiple times. Okay. They have been they have been profitable exploiting our gifts. Exactly. Brother, irritated genie, it really exposes their Zionist criminal enterprise. Post a link. Just send an email. No, to be a member, you don't send an email. To be a member, you click on the join button on my channel, and once you join, you'll see the memberships. Okay, my email is just I'm giving the email out for those who are looking, leaders for their organizations, because I don't know who you are when you join, right? But if you send me an email, you can say, I am the leader of such and such and such. Our organization is of this size. We are interested in being boots on the ground for an initiative to go and knock on the door of the ADL, because that's what we're doing. We're going to send 1,000 men to knock on the door at the ADL. I have 539 people in here. I need more. Share, like, tell people to get in here. I want 1,000 men to knock on the door of the ADL in every city that they exist. We're going to start in Brooklyn, though. We're going to start in Brooklyn and say, hey, we have some demands of you. And we'll talk about those demands in our private room with our fire members. Just sent an email to be a member. I would like you to click to join. To be a member, the email is to tell me who you are and the name of your organization. Your email is to tell me who you are, name of your organization, and you should have already been a fire member. Please send this out to your men. I need to have 10,000 men so I can send out 1,000. 50 organizations, 200 people organizations. Those are the organizations that have the ability to continue the effort, the effort. I need lawyers. Are there any lawyers in here? Are there any civil rights lawyers in here? Protest the attacks of the ADL so they continue to allow your enemy to bully you. I'm not sure what you mean, Matt Scott. Just finish it off for me and just let me know what you mean. Queen, and ladies too, we need you too. Don't make me out to be an individual who's a misogynist here. We need some of you ladies are a force to be reckoned with. So this is not a misogynistic call out. We need you ladies too. Okay? Need you to be boots on the ground. Need you to show up in your numbers the same way. We need men administrators as much as we need men with boots on the ground. We need lady administrators as much as we need ladies with boots on the ground. This is an initiative of all people. Okay? We keep going here. Respect this man's thread. He's trying to build, not convert. I'm not trying to convert right now. All right? I'm a Christian. If I told you how many people that I've baptized, you'd be shocked. I've baptized enough people to start small countries. You don't have any idea. I've done my share of converting my crown is set, and I still will do more. But right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to convert a group of black people into a legal activism army. All right? Am I allowed to say it like that? Algorithm? Algorithm fairies, will you shut me down if I say legal activism army? All right? A group of people that will begin an NGO that will be boots on the ground, that will have legal activism. Legal activism. Okay, I keep saying it because I don't know when somebody's going to pop in here and say I'm doing something bad. I want to support causing the powers to be a little pain before a team gets, you know what? We're going to tax them. They're going to be taxed. This is a person we like. A journalist, leader to the entire black community, and a leader within. We need folks who are, you have newspapers, you have local newspapers, you have local editorials, do you have social media platforms that are large or small, that folks listen to? You are part of the movement. Please go press the join button. Become a fire member. Okay. They bomb Black Wall Street. You ain't you listen. You say it. You said it better than me. You know why they bombed it? Exactly. This is moving in that direction. Oh wow! Listen to this now. Oh, bro, why are you here? I'm just gonna say, bro, why are you here though? You don't want people to stand up for themselves. This is your own agenda. What agenda do I have, my friend? Did I cause any of this? I have an agenda all of a sudden? Protesting ain't in this scriptures, bruh. Oh, really? Okay. Protesting is not in the scripture. Oh, okay. Did you ever read the book of Joshua? Since you want to have a Bible study with a master? Here, you see, there were some brothers who went to a city named Jericho. And they decided that they're going to walk around that city. Walk around. That's all they're going to do. Walk around. They weren't going to say nothing. They were just going to walk around and walk around. And one day God said, you know what? After you finish walking around, I just want you to open up your mouth. Brother, I wish men like you would open up your mouth to defeat Jerichos instead of opening up your mouth to defeat the initiatives of your own emancipation. That's what I wish. I really wish that would happen. Because there's too many Jonahs that jump in boats going in the wrong direction when God sent you to Nineveh. Don't play with me and your little elementary understanding of the scripture. Please put that back in your back pocket, bro. Put it back in your back pocket. You're in the wrong place. Go play with all of the other individuals who the man has been standing on your neck for years, and go back and watch basketball, wear your Nikes, and have a good day. That's it. That's all you got to do. But to come in here and to say this, after all that's been done, what's wrong with you, man? I have an agenda. Fire members for this discussion. Yeah, keeping it real 45. Sometimes you feel like you can't even talk to your own. Honestly, Harriet Tubman said it right. You know, I freed many slaves, but I would have freed more if they knew they were slaves. Black man in America is the only slave that has never taken over his country. Brother man, you know that? Let me go back to him. Let me go back. Is he run and hide? You know that? I be around. The black man in America is the only slave who has never taken over the place where he was enslaved. Haiti threw them off. Little Haiti. Trinidad threw them off. You should never come in here talking nonsense like this. Protests. The very nature of what Moses was doing when Israel was sitting in Egypt was protesting, Pharaoh, let my people go. What is wrong with you? It's not in the scriptures. I don't know what scripture you're reading. Jeez. Earl Thomas, I'd love you to knock on that doggone door too. You ever walk up to somebody who thinks they're tough and just look them in their face and say nothing and see what happens? And they realize, I don't think we want this argument. That's all I'm telling you to do. 1,000 men show up at the doors of the ADL and say, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Jewish business owners show up at the doors of ADL and say, you don't speak for us. We're with them. We're with them. You don't speak for us. We don't agree with the stuff that you're doing. We're with them. Jonathan Greenblatt, you're the wrong guy. You're creating more problems than we need. And just to give you a little peek out of what I'm hoping for, why doesn't the ADL have any black director who is in charge of black and Jewish affairs? Why don't they have a black person working in an executive position in charge of black and Jewish affairs, or simply what they say that they are there for, anti-black racism? Why don't they have a person doing that? Go on their website. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I didn't see them. Maybe they're in the back. I think that's something they need. I think that's something they should have. I think that's an appropriate thing that they should have. I agree with you. We need to establish our own ADL, and it's the organization that I'm hoping to put together. That I would love our fire members and the leaders of their organization, those leaders, for you guys to be the first as a board of trustees and advisors. It's going to be an international NGO with leaders in Israel, Canada, and America. So far, those are the three nations that we've mentioned, and I require an African nation to step to the plate. But those are the individuals right now who've targeted. And this is very new, so I'm sure I will find the right people. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to be the guy in charge. All right, I'm not going to be the guy in charge. All right, I don't. There's bigger brains than me. There's greater minds than mine. We need a very smart statesman, a very smart lawyer to sit down at the front of this and to be the guy or lady who runs something like this, right? I definitely going to be at the chair. I'll be sitting in the chair somewhere, but I don't have to be the guy. And this is what I've learned in life. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room, Brereton, but you just want to be in the room. And some people are on the wrong side of history. Right? Some of these sports media guys realize that. They're on the wrong side of history. Yeah, tell them again. Jeez. Faith without waiting on God Almighty is death. Oh boy, here we go. Faith without waiting on God Almighty is death within itself. Like the Israelite that went to fight the giants after God Almighty said he wasn't going to be with them because they didn't go. Talking about AI, right? You're talking about AI, and you're so far out of the context of that conversation is incredible. How long has Black Americans been waiting to actually be in a position where you are not being targeted by major corporations and major entities in the communities of your country, like Jewish multinational groups, and they're targeting you? How long have you been waiting for them to leave you alone? Right? You've been waiting on God a very long time. Very long time. You want to wait a couple hundred more years? I don't know. I don't know how much longer you want to wait. This scripture is completely out of context, man. We also need representation in the United Nations. America does not subject itself to UN or its laws. I agree with you. And this is why we need good lawyers, right? People with more capacity than little old me who can advise you of how an NGO would become identified with major, watch this, with major G8 nations, with Jewish communities, right? Jewish corporations that partner with it. Because what happens when you create something like this and you have major Jewish organizations that say, I won't be part of this? You know who your enemy is. But when the Jewish organizations say, yeah, I will be part of it, if it's pro-Israel and if it's improving Black and Jewish relations, I will be part of it and I will fund it. What is the money for? The money is for world reparations, a world reparation fund. That's what it's for. And guess what? You know how much money they give Israel every year that comes from the United States of America? You know how much? $5.8 billion. $5.8 billion. Do you know that the German government still gives reparations to the survivors of the Holocaust? Did you know that? Where's your apology? Huh? Black man in America, where's your apology? Where is it? Every time when y'all mess up, they charge you, they fine you, they hit you. The NBA, Jewish organization, they fine you. The ADL comes in and says, oh, we just got to give us a nice donation. They fine you. Who's taxing people for you? You need an NGO that represents you. And I'll tell you right now, the Jewish community will support it. They'll pay into it because they don't want the problem. And I told them, don't start a fight with us. It's going to cost them. You don't have to believe me. It'll happen. It'll happen in spite of the doubters. It'll happen if nobody in here supports it, it'll still happen. It'll happen. I'm telling you it'll happen. Because I tell you, there's one community in the world that doesn't want any smoke from the Black community. It's the Jewish community. We have the same interests. We're living in the same communities. It's a symbiotic relationship between Black and Jewish relations. They don't want no smoke from us. Israel wants a Black nation or group to solve its problem with Eritrean Jews in Israel. They got a Black problem in Israel, not just about Black Hebrews. They got a Black problem in Israel. They got a whole bunch of refugee Blacks. They don't want Blacks in Israel? Oh my gosh. If you can solve that problem for this current Zionist Israel, oh my gosh, they'll pay you for that. I got an idea. I ain't gonna tell it out here. You got refugees, you got Palestinian Black, you got non-Jewish Black refugees in Israel. I got a solution for y'all. You don't want them in Israel? I got a solution. Got a great solution. They will love it. Israel will love it. We'll love it. Lovely Black femme number one. Bless you. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Devlin Turner, I seen you, brother. It's going to cost them dearly. Okay? It's going to cost them dearly. Devlin Turner, my brother, super sticker, I appreciate you. Okay? So, let's articulate what's happening. Looking for 50 partner organizations. This is a very easy thing. 50 partner. I got 76 people in here. You're telling me there's not 50 churches in here? There's not between churches, mosques, between Hebrew Israelite organizations, there's not 50 in here? I just need 50 of you. I don't need the rest of you if you don't want to be part of it. But I'll take all of you. 50 of them that have at least 200 members who say, we will commit our membership, right, which is 10,000 people, to having at least 1,000 people ready with boots on the ground to be able to march down to the ADL and have a conversation perpetually until we get what we want. That's why I can't just do 50 times 20. We're not, Matt Scott, we're not going to call them slimy hymies because we have Jewish people that will walk with us. I'm not going to make that mistake that Jesse Jackson made. And you know, so I'm not going to call them names. I'm not going to call Jewish people names. I got some people that are working with us, right? But them, I'll call you Zionists. That's what I'll call them. Evil Zionists, anti-black racists. I'll call them that. Those are those who that applies to. But I've got some Jewish people who are not evil, who are not Zionists, and who are not anti-black racists. So I'm not gonna shoot myself in the foot. But I know I got some boys helping me. I ain't gonna shoot myself in the foot. But but they better shout down the ones that I need them to shout down. They better be loud and proud when they stand next to me. Don't get quiet when I walk to the ADL and you're screaming it before. You're on social media talking about stuff, but now you're quiet. Don't be quiet, baby. That's when I need you to. That's when I need you to roar. I'm gonna need them to roar then. But I ain't gonna call all Jewish people a bunch of names so that they can come in here and say Brayton hates the Jews. He's an anti-Semite. You know, they can call me any name they want, but at the same time, they're not going to be able to bring it out of my mouth. You understand? They're not going to be able to say it came out of my mouth. So I'm leaving them alone. Let's be nice. This is not an armed group. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is not an armed group. We are armed with our rhetoric, right? We are armed with our capacity to shut down various business sectors. We are armed with the ability to stifle traffic in the Brooklyn area with 1,000 individuals show up in one given place at any given time. You know how expensive it is for a city to deal with that? We'll have our permit. We'll generate permit money. We'll pay for the permit, right? If we have an active demonstration, we'll have lunch at local black businesses. 1,000 guests will come and eat at a local black business and push all that money back into a black community. Okay? We'll do that too. But we're showing up. Period. And if they don't like it, change. Period. If they don't like it, change it. And they're not going to like it. Because there's a phase 2 to this I'm not going to talk about yet. Right? The ADL's first. You deal with those who are trying to deal with you first. That's it. And the ADL is first on the list. So ACE, it's not an armed group. Of course not. We don't need to be armed to do this. Right? We don't need to be armed. I'm a big man. I don't need to bring a knife to a situation that I can backhand a person with it. If I can talk to you, I don't need to slap you. If I can stand there and stare at you, I don't need to speak. Right? Every brother who has children knows there's something called the look. So some of you ladies know it too. That look is enough. It's all they need to see. Right? We need some big monsters, some big Hebrew Israelite monsters to show up. Some 7-footers, some 6'10ers, some big old Negroes to show up. That's what we need. Big Semitic and Hamitic men to show up there and look them in their face and say, "You sure you want to? You sure? Are you sure?" That's what they need. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me see here. You have such low negative vibration. You need to leave this space. Who's that? Yeah. I wish I had some moderators. Let me see if I find that person. I'll boot them out. Oh, detriment to people. What's this? Always call to action with a detriment to innocent people. Now, this is a very reasonable concern. You know, 1,000 black men walking down the street. You know, they might step on some flowers. Absolutely. They might cause somebody to be late for work. They're innocent. Absolutely. You know, they might, cause somebody to want to cross the street. Yeah, we might, take up a little bit too much sidewalk space. Absolutely. All right. A thousand white men walking down the street. We're not worried about being a detriment to innocent people, are we? But 1,000 brothers walking down the street. Oh my goodness! Hold the babies. Oh no! Something might happen. Okay. All right. I would love to hear your idea. Love to hear your idea. Just so people know who you're talking to. I've organized marches here in Toronto. Okay. We had a Roma community, Gypsy. They're referred to as Gypsies. They were coming here as refugees from various Eastern Bloc countries, many of them identifying as Christian. And the Canadian government, which is very open to refugees. Like, we have so many Ukrainians who've come. We have, Somalians here. You name Syrians. We open the door to the Syrians. But these people, for some reason, because of a bad reputation, they didn't want to let them in. And you know what I did? Me. I didn't need a bunch of, I didn't need 500. That's what I got in here now, 586. I didn't need none of y'all. You know what I did by myself? And I had, at the time, I was pastoring a little church of 25 people. You know what I did? I blocked downtown. Blocked downtown. I organized the support for those people, and I blocked downtown. And I marched down to the Immigration Refugee Center, and we stood outside and waited. You know what happened? It took us upstairs, sat down, and they said, "How can we help your cause?" You're not talking to a clown. You're not talking to a novice. You're not talking to some guy who's just running his mouth on social media. Okay? I know exactly what to do. That's why I'm having a live. That's why 600 people are here listening. If I was a knucklehead, you guys would have detected that long ago. Okay? I'm an ex-policeman. I was also the people who used to stand on the other side of those protests and figure out who are the agitators and who are the individuals I need to get out of there because they were problems. I've been on both sides of it. I've run for political office. I've set up and been participant in citywide emergency planning. I'm not a little boy. So, but I don't like to, I'm just a country boy. That's all I am. That's right. This marching thing, I ain't telling you to march, Tracy Jackson. I ain't telling you to march. I'm telling you to go knock on the doggone door. All right? Y'all marched already. Israelites, you marched in Jericho. You already marched. Go straight to the shout now. You understand? The groups that died in the camps. I don't know what groups these guys are talking about. So this is the gentleman you guys want to throw out of here? You mean, in spite of God's word, because it clearly states, no man will buy you, will not be redeemed with money, yet there's a man promising something more than the creator of the universe. Okay. I ain't gonna kick you out for that, brother. You're allowed to have your freedom of speech in here. You can take all of the cowards with you. I need everybody who's afraid to stand up for yourself. You go ahead and you follow that young man. Follow him right out of here. All right? That's all. Go with him. He's the Pied Piper of all the people who are going to sit down and complain when nothing is done, when nothing is changed. You know, he's a Pied Piper. He's going to take y'all. Take you guys go with him. I'm not going to kick him out of here. Why? I'm going to fight against my own people. When we deliver everything that we said we deliver, brother, you're going to be able to sit at the table too. When David went into the camp and he said, listen, we've got to go fight and go get some of our people who were taken. Who's able to keep going? Some people couldn't keep going. Some were scared, some were tired, right? So David left them for the camp. And he took the rest of them when they sacked Ziklag. You remember that? Took the rest of them. Because what did God tell him? You shall recover all. When he came back to the camp, some of the men said, hey, these guys who didn't come with us, they shouldn't get anything. David said, no. That's not, no. Even the ones that stayed in the camp, even the cowards, even the tired, even the sick, guys with sore feet, couldn't march, couldn't walk. Everybody's getting a piece. And it was a law forever in Israel. This organization will benefit everyone. Some way, somehow, it will. This initiative will benefit everyone. Some way, somehow, some will. All the talkers and the cowards and the oh no, terrible things are going to happen. Oh no, when black people stand up to things, it's terrible. People die. People get hurt. Oh boy. All right. Let's go down these comments here. All right. Now, Yvonne Moore, that's a very good. A guy that you want to be part of the Jaylen Brown, the NBA Players Association would be a beautiful group to reach out to. Fantastic idea. You see? Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Yes, good measure. I'm in Canada, my friend. I was educated in America and I live in Canada. I do. I live in Canada. Right? But this affects me because I'm a black man. Right? And the imaginary border drawn by the British to separate one British from another set of British didn't matter. As Malcolm said, I didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. So if you think that little passport's going to save you, or my little passport, Maple Leaf's going to save me, you got another thing coming, baby. When I cross that border, let me tell you something that happens when we cross that border. I don't know what that brother just said. That is the voice we need. When I cross the border to come to America, and I show them my Canadian passport, you know what the American white immigration officer tells me? Because most of them are white. I've yet to see very many black ones. You know what he asked me? You know the question he asked me? Where were you born? He doesn't care that I have a Canadian passport in my hand. That's why I don't call myself a Canadian citizen or a Canadian. I'm a citizen of Canada. But I don't claim it. Because when I come into America, the minute I roll on the other side and get in there about to pop in Buffalo, about to pop it in Buffalo, and I get to that American border, one of you those good old boys that y'all got at that border, boy, they take out my passport. He looks at my passport and says, "Where were you born?" What difference does it make where I was born? I'm a Canadian citizen. Your treaty is not with the country I was born in. Your treaty is with Canada, of which I'm supposed to be a citizen. But you want to know where I was born? You're right, because it doesn't matter what passport I have. You don't see the passport. You see the black man. Trinidad and Tobago, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, where black people run the place. That's where I was born. But I live in Canada, yeah. So, they tried the same thing with Martin Luther King, so please don't piss them off. I don't care if I piss them off. Okay? I was a policeman for 12 and a half years, and they said I was militant. And I didn't care who I pissed off, because I came into an all-white regime of good old boys with less education than me. And I didn't care who I pissed off. And it's about time some of y'all stop worrying about who you pissed off. Anyway. Les, thank you very much. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Let me see. You see, Orthodox Jews is the key. They fight. Well, most of the Orthodox Jews are the Ashkenazi, and many of them are very, 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 very Zionistic in their mindset. But it'd be good when you have guys like Rabbi Harry Rosenberg, who is an Orthodox rabbi, and he is definitely against the ADL and definitely against Zionism. And I'm sure he's not alone. And so that's a good point that you've made. I appreciate the point. I'm trying. All right. It's all right, brother. We've all been young and dumb for a minute. Shim is a foreign lineage. He's here for the ADL. Well, Dirt Freeze. Thank you, brother. I accept. I accept. I accept. Indian coolies run Trinidad. Actually, Trinidad is about 50-50, right? Depending on how many people show up to vote, depends on what side wins. So, Mr. Wadabi, you're overstating the situation, boy. I'm in Kentucky and I can get you connected with some people. We can make a difference. Thank you very much. Ashar Ya Awada. Hope I said that right. If we got together today and we decide to have functional families, the tide will start to change immediately. And this conversation is a conversation I want to be part of. The funding, that some of the funding trickles down. When these reparation fundings start coming down, the Black family should be the focus. And you know, the Black family is one of the first root things that has been targeted by any people that come to oppress the Black community. They come for the Black family first, right? That's the long game. So I agree with you 100%. And things will be done to put that in place. Look at this. This is the warriors I love. This guy's a warrior. I love the warriors. I'm a disabled Hebrew Israelite in a wheelchair, and you can count me in. You're counted in, brother. Right? You're counted in. Because Ace, it's not an armed revolution, but it is a revolution. And if you wheel your way there, limp your way there, come on down. Right? That's a soldier right there. That's the kind of brother I need. Please click on the join button. Everybody who's coming in, the join button, the join button, the join button. Click the join button. The membership of FIRE membership is those who are organized enough. They come from a organization of at least 200 that has the capacity to talk to their leaders, or who is a leader, that we can mobilize a force of 1,000 or more to move through America, starting specifically in Brooklyn, to have boots on the ground. Okay. You see. Miss Ann, one of my members, and we love you, Miss Ann. Thank you very much. One of the very first members that came and got on board, and a great supporter of the channel, and a great supporter of mine. And I thank you very much. I big you up every time you walk in here. Okay. Okay, let me see. America needs to stop the Black phobia. Thank you. Yes, they do. It's too much. It's ridiculous. Rosenberg is not to be trusted. I watched the debate between him and Ron Dalton. He is a snake. Okay. Let's kill that right now. Okay. Can I kill that right now? I don't know where Harry was when he started talking to Ron. I don't know how long ago that was. I've had it, many of you have seen the debate I had with him. But I've talked to the brother, okay? He's on board. He's on board. He's already started talking against the ADL. He's on board, okay? I said earlier, don't shout outside in the parking lot, and then when we get into the boardroom, you're quiet. So that's yet to be seen. But if an Orthodox Jew is going to show out and talk against, at the same level and volume as I am against the ADL, I'm gonna let him talk. I'm not gonna call him names. And so they look at him and say, see, this is what they do, brother. This is what they do when you help these blacks. When you help these blacks, they still kill us. Don't support these people. It's a waste of your time. Don't do it. Why are you going on their channels and talking to them, and then they're calling you names and they're using you? Don't do it. See, just stop doing that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. If a man says, I'll help you dig a ditch, and he picks up a shovel, who cares? Let him dig. Don't do that to ourselves, okay? Please don't do that. Okay, B. Isaiah, just take that from your big bro, man. Like, come on, don't do that. Let him help us. Okay. Shim, you are Jewish. Good to see you. Are you with us? Shim, are you with us? Let me know. Let us know. Are you with us? That's all we want to know. Say yes. And if you're with us, become a member. Right? If you're with us, let us know. And then send me an email so we know who you are. Exactly who you are. Right? Because we'll vet you and see who you are. If you're Jewish and you're with us, you're with us. Okay. Let's see here. There you go. That's the talk we need. Thank you very much, Dirt Freeze, brother. I appreciate you too, man. I appreciate you too. Appreciate you too. How can others support in other countries? I'm late in so many, some have missed it. So you're going to watch the rewind. If you're in other countries and you're not in America, okay, and you don't have an affiliate in America, you don't need to become a FIRE member unless you are media, or unless you want to be part of the NGO and be on the board of trustees, and you're in some kind of international law, civil law, if you can help us in that area. But if you're in another country and you don't apply for any of those things, I'd like you to subscribe to the page, right? To be a subscriber. I engage you if you wish to be a earth or a wind or a spirit member. And I ask you to continually support and share this information as it comes down the pipe. Okay? That's how you can help. Thank you very much. I'm in another country though. Right? And it depends on how country you come. If you can show up in Brooklyn, because I can show up in Brooklyn, I can show up in America. I'm just around the corner, right? But I'm in another country. So let me see. Let me see what you're saying here. Empowering ourselves ensures justice. Asking for it isn't working. They don't care. How many more elections are we going to be blacks vote for your life campaigns? They don't care. Beezy, you're in America and you have the right to say it. All right. I don't understand that comment. Can a black man convert to being Japanese? Ron Dalton lives in South Africa now, yes. And if anybody wants to get me in touch with Ron Dalton, I would be so pleased to have the conversation with him. Yeah, it was years ago when Harry spoke with Ron. Exactly. So I think Harry has come around, right? He's a young man. Thank you. Next to the unsubscribe bell, there's a white join button. There you have it. Thank you very much. That's where it is. Renee, my new member, thank you very much. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us. Thank you for being on board with us. Can't believe you guys snitched on me. I don't know what Shem means by that. Margarita Gibson, it's time, my daughter. It's time. It's time. Ron is working up the Ivory family in SA, South Africa, I guess. Yeah, he left the USA. Judge a tree by its fruit. Not sure what you mean. Shauna Shade, another member, sometimes you have to be moved by wisdom and not emotions. I agree so much, right? I mean, your emotions get you there, and then your wisdom gives you the strategy, right? And I think all of us are here based on our emotions. And now it's time for wisdom. It's time for a plan. And please, if you got a better plan, I'll follow you. I'll organize behind you. If you got a better plan, if you have a better reservoir of people, I've got people all over the world who are ready. I've got people in Israel and America. I've got people in who are connected to government, who are connected to power brokers, and I'm lending them to you. Go right ahead, right? The ADL needs to be stopped, and they don't even deal with Canada, and they need to be stopped. That guy needs to be stopped, man. Jeez. Sometimes you need people from the outside to show you what it is. That boy needs to be stopped. Rabbi David Weiss from New York, they march against Zionists all that. That's my guy then. Let me talk to him. Send him my email. Another book, you want us to read a book? Afro Dragon, Big Little White Lies. Okay. Continue with, thank you. I'm white English, but watching your journey is fascinating to me. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And you know what? Ash Cash 147. It's our, take the Y off of that, it's our journey. It's our journey. You know why? Let me mess with you a little bit. I'm not gonna mess with you hard. Right? You're white and English. If you got children, one of them little children might marry a little black boy or girl one day. And you know, that little black boy or girl might cause you to be the granddad of a black child. Right? And then it's no longer your journey, it's our journey. And in this melting pot that you are in America, we're a mosaic here. Because in America, everybody goes to America and becomes American. In Canada, you come to Canada and you stay your nation. You know, you stay Trini, you stay your Trini. You come to Canada, you're still a Trini. You're still Trini to the bone. You're eating your Trinidadian food. You come to Canada, you're Somalian, you're still a Somalian. You stay in your Somalian community. You do your thing. You're the integration part, the melting pot, they don't do that as well here as they do down there. But what will happen is eventually this problem will come to your door, because the ADL doesn't matter who you are. The second you say anything about their group or their people, and I told you guys the story of the ADL, right? This Jewish businessman raped a 13-year-old girl and murdered her in Georgia. And he was convicted, as he should be. But, as the Jewish community does, they went behind the scenes and put the fix in with the governor. The governor switched it around. Instead of giving him the death sentence, he passed some laws, no more death sentence allowed. Guy got life. But people knew what happened. People knew the fix was in. They dragged that dude out of jail. They lynched him on a tree. And the ADL was started. They've been lynching black people for how long? How many ADLs do you got? Huh? Billie Holiday been singing about strange fruit for a very long time. She couldn't even sing the song. Forget about starting an organization. Billie Holiday couldn't even sing the song. Watch Billie Holiday versus the United States of America. She couldn't even sing the song. They lynched one little Jewish boy, and they started an organization in 1913. A Jewish murderer, a Jewish rapist. They lynched him, and then they threw an organization together. And watch this. In 1980, Mr. Ash, Cash 147. Do you know what the ADL got accomplished? They got a pardon for that dead man who raped a 13-year-old little girl and murdered her. They got a pardon for that boy because they said the state of Georgia didn't protect him. That is the monstrous organization that we're talking about. Rip it down. Yeah. But thank you. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. Oh, here's a gentleman you wanted to throw out. See, he's asking good questions. See, I'm glad I didn't throw you out. Do you have any proven concepts that has worked in Canada that we can implement here in the United States? Yes, this is the first. You meet with community leaders. This is the number one thing you do, right? In the city of issue, because that's where the emotions are the hottest. And you meet with those community leaders and you have a town hall meeting and you vet all the voices and you listen very intently to who's with you and who's on the sidelines. And you put together ambassadors in respect to that organization who, if given an opportunity to talk to media or talk to the organization heads of who you're dealing with, you want those guys to talk first. And then you put together your groups, organize your groups, and have them show up to march. Have them, if you're doing a march. Make sure you put out a press release to not just mainstream media, but to grassroots media, because the grassroots media will be the ones who give the story that you actually want to be in the people's mouths. All right? You equip yourselves with GoPros and camera phones and water, or in the case it's cold outside, you know, you don't need water, but you're gonna need some scarves and some coats out there in New York City. And you take a walk. And the police won't touch you. Now, when they see 1,000 you walking down the street, boy, they won't touch you. You walk straight up to that place. You go inside. Go up in every elevator. Jam up them elevators. Jam them up, because we got to get upstairs. You go up there. I don't know where the place is. I just know the address. I don't know the actual place. Right? I've never been there. I posted the address in my community link. And you go see Mr. Greenblatt or whoever's there. You bring the media with you. All right, keep that media person right on your shoulder of the head guys. And you sit down and you have a conversation. All right. You book another opportunity to speak in that conversation. And you don't leave there until there is a statement made by the organization you came there to talk to. In front of media. Phase 1. All right. That's it. That's how it works. That's the beginning of it. All right. That's the very, very beginning of it. Hopefully you have your NGO in place. Right. Remember, the next time around, they're going to be ready for you. That door will be locked. They'll have different security measures waiting for you. But that's number one. That's number one. Most people don't want to be famous like that. You know what? They don't want to be. Trust me, most people don't want to be on that level of blast. That's too much for them. Especially a community that's very nervous about their safety. There's no community in the world more nervous about their safety than the Jewish community. They're very nervous about their safety. They ain't gonna want to see y'all again. They're gonna try to make some accommodations. That's phase 1, okay? I don't know if you like that or you don't like it, but that's what we do here. Do you think Skip can get me some cheap tickets to see? What is this? What? Okay, so this is the guy. This is a clown that I'm throwing out. I'm throwing him out for sure. Throw you out. Nonsense. Oh yeah, they spying on me already, man. It's okay. It's happened to me. I found your channel a couple of weeks ago. I love the content, very informative. But thank you, Kenneth Richardson. Thank you. I don't believe in marching. I don't believe in marching either. Protesting, I definitely believe in, because you got to protest. Voting, come on, love, we got to vote, baby. But I believe in unity. Let's go. Okay. Well, I'm halfway with you. You got to walk down there. We're not marching around the doggone building. We're not doing that. We're walking down there and knocking on the door. That's what we're doing. We're going inside. We're going inside. We're going inside. Right? We're going inside. We're not just walking around the doggone building. We're going inside. We're going to talk to them people. We're going to tell them what we want immediately. Right? And we're going to force Jewish business people to partner with us. I use the word force. Uh-oh. We're going to invite Jewish people to partner with us. You'll force their hand. They don't want no smoke. I think y'all misunderstood me. I'm talking about the people who are from the other group that will tell us we shouldn't say anything or stand up for ourselves. Okay. Not sure about Rabbi Harry. Yeah, fine. That's fine. He ain't the leader. We ain't making Harry the leader or anything. He's just saying come for the walk. Thank you, Dorian. Thank you very much. Contact Floyd Mayweather. Hey, I like your ideas, Yvonne Moore. Please become a fire member. I like brains like yours. I happen to like Rosenberg. I like Rosenberg too. Rosenberg's a good cat. Nothing wrong with him. I don't know a whole lot of Orthodox rabbis who I can sit back and say, hey, he's got the same agenda I got. I don't know a whole lot of them. I know one who I have his phone number and I talk to him. I've met with him. He's a good friend of mine now. I'll call him my friend. He hasn't done anything to show otherwise. All right? I'll give him a chance. Germany. Isaac Iju, what's going on in Germany? And who are you? Are you a black Jew in Germany? Explain who you are. Get in touch with Brother Tariq Nasheed. Okay. He has a big following of B1 community. Okay, great. Please give him my email. Thank you very much to our partner, Adil Al-Katil, the $20, man. We appreciate you very much, man. Appreciate you very much. For those that can, help us out. For those that can, help us out. I appreciate this very, very, very much because I'm telling you, right? I'm a 6'7", 270-pound man. Monsters show up at me. When my brothers come to town, I come from a community and a family of some giants. I'm coming to town with my giants. They're not letting me go nowhere by myself. Y'all don't know me. I'm not just a simple guy. I'm gonna come with my giants, and they're gonna come. We're gonna suburban ourselves in there, fly ourselves in there. We're gonna stay somewhere. I'm gonna meet with the organizers, and we're showing up. Right, so we're gonna need. I got to take care of these guys if I bring them with me. They're not gonna. I can't just take them away from their jobs and stuff. If you guys organize and want me to show up, if you don't need me, I'll sit my behind right here. But I want to show up. I want to help you. And if I'm not showing up for that, I will be showing up for other things because I have some things to do. That NGO will be registered in America and will be a joint bipartisan group of individuals from partner nations, including Canada. All right. Thank you very much, Adil Al-Katan. Let me see this name. Kantanti. Al-Kantanti. Adi Al-Kantanti. I love saying names. Okay. You need to send that brother my email. Is Harry a mole? Okay. I don't think so, because the worst that's the worst kind of, if you can't shoot down somebody. Remember what Harry's doing, right? Harry's a rabbi who's become quite famous, if not like YouTube famous, as being one of the guys that anytime you want to talk to the black community and have a conversation with the black community, Harry's coming to the table. Now, has Harry taken some very bad appointments? If I was to tell him, if I was him, I would never have talked with Polite. I mean, you know what you get when you get with Polite. Polite didn't give him, Polite roughed him up, right? But Harry wanted that smoke. So Harry's gone around the block now. And I think he's matured. I think his conversation has matured. I believe he has a focused approach at what he's intending on doing and what his agenda is. and he shared some of it with me, not all of it, but some of it, and I approve. And we're doing the same stuff right now. So if Harry switches up, I'll be the first to let you know. But I'm here to tell you, our agenda today, right now, our agenda is to cancel, dismantle, disenfranchise, tax the ADL. And Harry is right along with us, spouting the same things about the same organization that's supposed to represent him. And he knows it doesn't. Okay, so count me in San Francisco Bay. I will participate. Mr. Best. Okay, please join, become a fire member. That's how I know who are the people dealing with this situation. Okay, another member. Oh, yes, thank you for becoming a member, DB. Thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Miss Israel, what do you want to tell us? Yeah, we're not messing with Adidas and Nike. We know. Jordan's not buying anything for Christmas. That's where the power. Yep. My kids already know. Thank you very much, Kenneth. Thank you very much. He did an interview on Viral Hip Hop and he exposed the Zionists. There we go. All right, get a brother a chance, man. Give a man a chance. This internet. Give him a chance. All right. For those here speaking against Dell, oh, this is nice. This is a little bit self-promotion, me putting it up there, but I thank you. I appreciate this. I don't know why you'd be speaking against me. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you're not speaking against me if you speak against me. You're speaking against yourself. I am a man of Afro-Hamitic origins. And when they attack the Afro-Shemitic people, they attack me too, because they can't tell the difference. So new member, Frenchie Wee, thank you very much. These ladies are jumping on it, man. I appreciate you. You know, Del K. Brereton at Gmail, let me know what you would like to do for the cause and how you would like to support the cause, please. I was a little Ashkenazi Jew who constantly is attacked on the streets by Hebrew Israelites. I'm just here for entertainment. You may kick me out now if you like. Okay, I understand. Thank you. We appreciate you, bro. Not really, but we're blocking you. Get out of here. You're here for entertainment. Go entertain yourself somewhere else. Black people are not going to be your entertainment anymore, Mr. Ashkenazi Jew. All right? You've already got that. Go watch the NBA, buddy. Why was you attacked? Don't bother with why he was attacked. Look at he's carrying on with. Clearly, he's a flippant individual. You know, black people don't just walk around attacking people. Hebrew Israelites don't attack people. They see you walking around as a Jew and they ask you a question. Then that's what they do. They have you defend your faith, right? And some of you can't. You don't, because you're so focused on the non-biblical aspect of your Judaism. You can't defend the Torah when they bring it to you, or the Tanakh when they bring it to you. I saw they brought this brother and showed him Jeremiah 14:2, and all he had to say was the white Ashkenazi. All he had to say was, please tell me what version of the Bible you're using in respect to the word black there, and let's look at some of the other translations and see what that scripture says in the other translations, and let's have a conversation together. But he wasn't even wise enough to do that. And so they pigeonholed him to how the King James wrote Jeremiah 14:2, and the word black there. And they pigeonholed him there, and he was stuck, and they didn't show any more of the clip. So, but if you have an understanding of scripture, you'll know sometimes the words as seen were a translation, and some of the translations didn't translate it specifically or completely in the way it should. right? So, in just to finish that, Jeremiah 14:2. If you look at the Jerusalem Bible and you look at the Amplified Bible, which are both translations, it meant that the people were sitting wearing black, mourning. Are those people black people? Of course. Was the translation saying that the people were mourning who were black? No, it was saying that they were wearing black. And they were wearing black due to the fact that they were mourning or languishing. But am I going to fight you for it? No, go ahead, run with your doctrine. It's okay. I already know that the Afro-Semitic person was black, but I will find the scriptures that say certain things in the best way, not ones that are controversial. But that man couldn't defend himself because he doesn't know his Bible. And that's a problem. So, yeah, we got rid of Shim. Shim's gone. New member, Ramona Ross, we thank you very much for becoming a new member. Ramona Rose, sorry. Who is, yes, men like you are greatly appreciated in our community. I look forward to supporting your efforts because we need your voice. Thank you very much. I am just a voice crying in the wilderness. Les, thank you very much, brother. Another new member. Here we go. Oh, we spoke about you. We're still being lynched in America. Yes, you are. Billie Holiday name drop. That's right, Boru. Shim gone. Don't worry about Shim. Shim is gone. I kicked him out. Okay, so I think we got it. Thank you. Thank you, brother. It is upsetting. I feel for all of us. Okay, what's this say? My daughter-in-law is white. She brought the H2N book, Hebrews to Negroes book, years ago. Her children now know their history. She's more black than me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Right? So this is a black gentleman, I'm assuming, whose son married a white lady, and she is now trying to make sure that her children are aware of their black culture and black history. That's wonderful. That's what I'm saying to our friend Ash. This thing sometimes comes right back to you, man. So it's not just our fight. Oh, look at. We are highly offended by the unaddressed racism in your community. Okay, Ace, I don't know. Are you a non-person of color? You cannot say stuff these days. So, glad if you are not, thank you very much for that. Oh, like this. The Hispanics are networking, the Filipinos are networking, but we are doing nothing but talking a bunch of ignorance every day. Hey, keeping it real, baby. So this is phase one. And phase one is organized, right? Getting organized, having the conversations. Who wants to go? Who wants to do what? So who has a better idea? How do we implement this? Phase two, once we have the who, then we have the how. How are we doing it, right? And so once I get the who, I will tell you the how. I have the how, right? Right? After we get the how, then we get the when. And the when is based on the who. So all these things will come, and hopefully quicker, sooner than later. But once we have real people coming to bear, having the conversations, we're going to then have a live of some of the major leaders who will articulate these things. So it's not just me. So it's the mouths of people in the community. And we'll have an activation plan. Okay. So me continue. We're not going to stay here much longer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I feel like it is. I feel like it is. Reparations will be paid. I guarantee it. Okay? Will be paid. I'm telling you right now, it's in the interest of the Jewish community to pacify negative sentiments between the Black and the Jewish community. And they will assist any partner organization that is pro-Israel and anti-Black and Jewish relations. They will assist, and the government of America will assist because those monies are already slotted in, my friends. They will assist. Fear not. You just have to have these things in the hands of the right people. And we're putting the right people together. It's a good starting point. And start the educating ourselves. Yes, well, I hope so. God speaks. Let me see. It's going to go down here. All right. So that's we came on at 12. It's almost 2 o'clock. That's long enough. We're just to reiterate at the end. We would like you to go join the membership group with the FIRE membership. FIRE membership tells me that you are part of the activism, the activism group that we're putting together. Wow. See, look at these kind of guys here. Right? These are kind of, let me give you your Kodak moment there, bro. I'm crazy. I'm colonized West Indian living in Canada. Okay. So Trinidad and Tobago is called a republic. You know what that is? America claims to have one. All right? We are a republic. All right? We were, Christopher Columbus lied, said he found it. People were already there. Black people were already there. Okay? And then the British came in and took it off his hands, and then we took it off theirs. All right? Would that be? Good. Now go get blocked and go somewhere and don't come back. See you later, fella. Just gonna educate you before I kicked you out. All right. So why is he there? You know these folks, man. They're gonna be coming. They're always gonna be here. They're always gonna be here. They're very. You know what? If this was a page that was pro-Japanese empowerment, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be there. I would be sitting in a South Korean live chat group with South Koreans who are looking to, to receive fair treatment by the South Korean government. I wouldn't be there. I'm a black. I have nothing to do with it. But these individuals, this is what I need you to remember. These people are so wicked that they literally are coming in here to cause problems, to cause dissension, right? They're so evil and demented that they have nothing to do on a Sunday but to come into my live and to come into this page of channel of individuals having this conversation and to just be clowns. It doesn't make any sense, right? Look at this, look. So you have nothing to do with American politics either. Every human being in the world has something to do with American politics. Every human being in the world has something to do with Russian politics. When you have countries with enough nuclear arms to dismantle and blow up every human being on the world, how can you say that? I am in Canada, you knucklehead. We are in a treaty with you called NAFTA, okay? Donald Trump dismantled it, but it still functions. How can you say that? You know I can walk to America and work without I don't have to do anything. I don't have to become an American citizen. I don't need a green card. I can just come to America and work. Us in Mexico can do that. So it's to say I have nothing to do with American politics is obtuse. It shows the myopia of your worldview. It shows that you should be in the playground playing with sand and toys, little boy. Go somewhere. Do something with yourself. All right? Doesn't make sense, boy. Anyway. These folks get me. They get me educated, boy. They get me upset. They get me upset because I try to be nice, but I'm a street boy. I'm a little street boy who got a little education, played some basketball. They put me in a university. I read some books. In kindergarten, they wanted to put me in grade 3 because my mother said, you're going to be a lawyer one day and you're going to read law books. I was reading law books as a 5-year-old. And then they realized this guy's reading at a grade 3 level and he's a giant. Let's put him in grade 3. My mother said, no, leave him in his age group. Don't advance him. Let him be advanced in his age, so they always know he's special. My mother was very smart. So anyway, we're done. We are going to reconvene. I'm gonna check to see how many people showed up in my email. I'm checking to see how many people showed up as a fire member, and we will continue this conversation. Thank you very much. It's Sunday. Please enjoy your dinner, your lunches. I plan to be back here, but probably posting a couple of videos later about some things that are going on. Kyrie might have played today or going to be playing today or not. I don't know. We'll comment on that and anything else that you bring up, okay? I'm going to be starting for my spirit members. Our studies for the spirit members will be Thursdays. I'll do Thursday for the spirit members, starting the studies for those people. I don't need to do simple Bible studies. I'm not a simple guy. I get very, very deep. You go to your local pastor or your local leaders for those little things. I don't do simple stuff. So stuff I do is very, very deep, and people that want it really want it. So those are my spirit members who are looking to be serious teachers. I'll be giving you your textbooks on Thursday. My win people, you got to send me an email at delkbrereton@gmail.com. Tell me what businesses you have. So when we do the lives, we can post your business and talk about your business. I'll have a sheet next to me. Bless you to my earth leaders. You're gonna get your advanced videos. Some of them are already in there. And our fire members, we will meet to continue these discussions. We're going to probably meet every other day once we get the proper membership in there. Okay? Thank you. We need a new Montgomery boycott. Yes, we do. Yeah, we got a lot of those small-minded people. It's okay. Trolls do this all day. I know, right? Nothing to do. As a Canadian, no one knows America better. Thank you very much. It's true. Plus, I was educated in America. My degree is from an American university. I grew up in America, right? Thank you very much. I'm glad to be considered someone that you can take something from, and my information is always available to anybody. Let's see. Donald Trump was helping blacks. Okay. What do you say? You're accepting black American money and trying to implement policy in the country, and you don't have boots on the ground. I do have boots on the ground. This is the whole purpose of this live. The whole purpose of this live is I do have boots on the ground in America. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I already do have boots on the ground in America. I have, and fine, this is a great criticism. I have a group interested in putting together an NGO, interested in helping fund it. I have people who are connected to HBCUs, who are connected to government in America, who are interested in putting together an organization that I am discussing, my friend. I'm not wasting my time talking about stuff I can't do. I got stuff to do. I'm a grown man. I have a life. Okay? So what you're saying, I understand. It's the very first meeting. I realize I'm not taking it personal, but what you're saying is not true. Okay? It's not true. Exodus, thank you very much for becoming a member. Vicky, thank you very much for becoming a member. Vicky Woodbury, appreciate you very much. Thank you very much for becoming a member. You're accepting, listen, you're accepting Black American money. Black American money. I thought it was Jewish money. I thought that's what y'all called it. Black American money. Listen to this nonsense this man is telling me right here. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Tell him. Those politics touch everyone. We are a world society. We're not living in a little silo called United States of America. People that speak like him probably don't even have a passport. That's the hilarious part. They've never been out of their country. That's the funniest. They've never been out of their block. Just relax. Like, I'm an international man of mystery, my friend. My passport has plenty of stamps in it. And these these gray hairs on my face are I've earned every one of them. G20, G7, UN political organizations. I don't know. I don't know. I know what this guy's talking about. You will get nowhere without God. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I just like to, you know, the centers, you have to deal with them because they're contagious, right? So that when they come in, you got to chop them down, right? When they came in and they started to talk back forth with Jesus, he chopped them down. He's God Almighty in the flesh, but he chopped them down. So I don't mind. No. Thank you very much, Rebeard. I appreciate you. And I defer to your wisdom and to the elder statesmen who led the way. And I'm here on your shoulders. I thank you very much, all of you. Not fret, make them go. Jamaican Israelite, buddy. Let me see. I'm just gonna go down the list. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Oh, Vicky, yep, Vicky, there you go. Thank you, Vicky. New comments. Okay. All right. So I think it's done. I think we've I think I bigged you up, Exodus. I think we've done what we had to do here today. Hamitic or Shemitic, Mr. Dell? I believe myself and our family we follow Hamitic lines, of which we realize we're Igbo people who came to Trinidad, and we are part of the Nigerian Igbo ancestry. When you walk down Main Street in Trinidad, you see one heap up man looking like me, 6'6", 6'7", 6'10", looking like the whole Igbo tribe. We look very similar. It's very hard to say that we are not Igbo, but this is information from my grandfather. Our oral traditions are strong in my family, and my mother echoed the very same thing and told me to go read a book. Was it Things Fall Apart? In high school, we were very certain of our Igbo Nigerian heritage, and it's what I've always been told, right? And so I have no need to doubt the stories of my ancestors and my foreparents. I can't make up my own identity. I was given a name, I was given an identity by them, and I have no reason to doubt it. Okay? That's how I've traced my ancestry, is by my grandfather telling his children and his children telling their children, which is me, and me telling my children and you, right? We are Hamitic West Africans from Nigeria who were taken, abducted, showed up in Trinidad, and we kept to our companies. In Trinidad, when they brought the slaves, they brought them in companies, and so what you found is that those companies intermingled or intermarried within each other, and so we all carry very strong characteristics of the African people that we were brought. Plus, in the Caribbean, unlike America, they did not like to. The Caribbean didn't mix the slaves. They wanted slaves who were working together, so who spoke the same language, came from the same culture, made their food the same. They didn't mix. In America, they did a lot of mixing because they didn't want uprisings. So they wanted slaves who were from different ethnicities to come together so there would not be any unity, which is what you're dealing with today, right? Okay. So that's your brief history lesson of me. And the Igbos are not all Semitic. So, Christina, the Igbo people, a very small group. They're a huge community. They're the biggest community in Nigeria, just like the Ashanti are the biggest community in Ghana. The Igbo community, some of them claim to be Shemitic, a very small group of them. In the Assyrian captivity of the first temple, we have documents, again on my community page, where the Assyrians did move some Jews to Nigeria, right? Second temple, destruction, some Jews made it into West Africa, Nigeria, small amount, and also in the middle century after the Mali Empire, and Mansa Musa showed the world how much money, how much gold was in West Africa. You had Jewish settlers in the middle centuries, 13, 1400s, come on in there too, and adopted, again, indoctrinated some people in Judaism. So you have three different scenarios of first temple, way back, second temple, escape from Jerusalem, and then middle century, the Middle Ages, of where Jewish settlers came also into Africa. So that's where the Jewish scenarios come from. Some indigenously Semitic, some individuals who are also escaped from the Second Temple scenarios in Rome, where some of them were potentially mixed and whatnot, and then you have people who are just literally converted by other settlers. You have all those three. I know my history, right? Did I do my DNA? No, because DNA cannot prove Jewishness. I had that before. DNA can't prove Jewishness. It's impossible. You cannot. There's no Jewish gene. Okay, there's the Y chromosome that is mutated, that the whites that invented that nonsense to prove themselves to be in the line of Aaron, they did not have a male paternal sample, so you cannot detect paternity without having both male and female, and the Y chromosome mutation is consistent in every single population in the world. It's just a mutation of the Y chromosome. And there's no Jewish gene. There's no science for that. Thank you very much. Right? That's not what I came here for, but that's it. Let me see this. What is this gentleman's? This infiltration is best. And when he spoke about Israelites, he spoke about us like we're some enforcers and they're intellectuals and journalists and da, 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 da. All right, your time has passed. There you go. There you go. All right. Love, peace, and hair grease, everybody. I'm out. That's my background. I don't doubt anybody else's. Nobody can tell me about mine because I research mine. And if you research yours, yours is yours. And that's it. It's the first time I'm hearing of this. It's coming to this understanding of Scripture. Be blessed. Thank you. Tested 1,800 Jewish. Let's see. The University of Arizona tested 1,800 Jewish men, and they have the same Y chromosomes as Arab men. You're wrong. How does it make me wrong? All right? You're Jewish men. Where did they come from? Where did they come from? Did they come from the small group of Ashkenazi European 10th century men that pretend to be a Shemitic? That little group that says that they have their Jewishness from four Ashkenazi women? No. Y chromosome mutation, which is what they're testing for, because you didn't finish the thought, Colin. Colin, it's not a Y chromosome that they're testing for. It's a Y chromosome mutation that they're testing for. And they're saying that the mutation is similar in this group, and therefore they must be connected to that group. Please do your research a little better. All right. So again, genetic science that took place in the 1700s, the early 18th century or late 18th century. Okay. This was the very beginning of genetic racism. Your genetic racism cannot make a white man a man from the desert. And it backfired because now your Y chromosome theory, which is all it is seen to show you, just like you've mentioned, there's mutated Y chromosomes in Arabs, there's mutated Y chromosomes in some Africans. You go everywhere in the world, you'll find mutated Y chromosomes because mutations are part of our DNA. Right? There's three levels of our DNA: the nuclear DNA, the mitochondrial DNA, which is where you can dissect who's your mother, right? And then there's another one outside of the nucleus, right? You can look at that yourself. That causes some of that mutates. You're out of your depth. Don't play with me. All right. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out. Talk to you later. We'll have that discussion another day. Bye-bye.